Hey, good morning, Brett. I wanted to take a minute just to respond to you in conversational video form because I think it's pretty easy to hide behind the anonymity on X. And I thought it was a bit more respectful of you kind of putting yourself out there on YouTube and sharing your thoughts with other people. Sort of deserved a kind response in a similar, fashion. So I took some time to review the morality video, and I've drafted a response here that you can see on my screen, and I'm just going to read it. It kind of helps me to stay on track, but I hope you find it interesting. So yeah, thanks for putting it together. I just want to say that I find myself largely sympathetic to your framework, but there is a tension in it worth exploring. The argument draws a sharp distinction between subjective morality, which is things that are grounded in our feelings and our psychological states. So that's subjective, and an objective morality grounded in external facts about whether problems are being solved or exacerbated. And that distinction between objective and subjective does the majority of work in your video. But in the video, you invoke Popper and his claim that we are all equal in our infinite ignorance. And I think that that principle, if you apply it consistently, actually undermines the epistemological confidence that that your video puts forward. So if our ignorance, and this is sort of the key argument, if our ignorance is genuinely infinite, then we cannot know whether any given solution to a problem is ultimately good or bad. So it may appear to solve a problem locally and within our observable time horizon, while actually generating some far worse consequence beyond it. What the piece calls objective is therefore more precisely described as local, provisional, and finite horizon assessment. Now, I do think this is probably our best tool that we have, but I also think that's categorically different from calling it objective in any strong sense. So to be clear, I'm not disputing that objective moral truth might exist ontologically. In fact, I don't even think that's knowable. I'm disputing that finite beings can access it epistemologically. The ontology may be real, meaning that there is some objective truth, but it's at the infinite scale. And because it's at the infinite scale, we can't know that ontology. So, meaning our epistemology is bounded. I also accept that conjecture and criticism is sort of the best error correction process that I'm aware of, and even the best epistemology I'm aware of. But that process of conjecture and criticism is itself a conjecture, and therefore equally subject to infinite ignorance. It's our best tool without being a guaranteed path to final objective moral knowledge. So the tension I keep returning to, the piece cannot simultaneously claim infinite ignorance and be confident about moral objective designation. One quietly constrains the other. So that's my critique and criticism of this concept of objective. I do think it is a very useful tool, and I do think it is probably our best tool. But that's not the same thing as claiming some knowledge that we really can't claim. So yeah, thanks for your time. I hope this was helpful. I'm sure this is probably an argument you've heard before because it is sort of the obvious argument. But yeah, thanks, Brett. Hope we continue to chat.